Am I live? Okay. So, to continue the story, this season we need to add something that we believe would add a lot of value to you. Because most of the time, when we analyze data, we churn out the numbers black and white. But what's the insights? What's the takeaway? How do you present it in a way that will be useful to your boss? How do you present it in a way that would add value to the people who want to consume the data? So what we are going to do this season is a mix of many things. First, we'll learn how to get data, analyze the data, and then be able to communicate insights, which is a key skill that most people don't consider. So whether you're a beginner, whether you're an advanced person, there are all students who are joining us again, there's something in it for you. Are you on the same page? So we've dubbed this the Finex Kitchen. We'll be covering Power BI, PowerPoint, Excel. Then these tools will be powered by the new power blocks in the house. Microsoft Copilot, OpenAI ChatGPT, and Google's Gemini. In fact, the AI world is very, very competitive now. This week alone, OpenAI has launched its own browser, right? Microsoft didn't want to be left out of the competition, so Copilot has now also been enabled to browse with AI components as well. Google is the old master, but Google already has upgraded the way the browser even works. So there's a lot of competition going on. Everybody wants to get ahead. So as for AI tools, it is non-negotiable. So we'll go through how we are going to take advantage of these. Okay. So before we go into the kitchen, I want to show you what is on the menu so that you will be able to choose what's. So our first serving, who can guess what is in here? So we'll share our recipe with you. Okay, so we'll share Finance's recipe with you. And then we'll also share our secret sauce. Why do people keep coming to Finance? We'll share it with you for those who run restaurants. Okay, we'll also share our history with you. Okay, so we are going to share what we've covered in the past few years, just for you to get to know us better. And we'll also give you a sense of our future recipe. How do we look at the future, especially in the midst of AI tools? How do we combine all these tools with what we already use? And we as Finex Skills Hub, how are we positioning ourselves to take advantage of the AI tools? So we'll discuss a bit about vision and our mission. And we'll also talk about the family here, the family kitchen, Finex Skills Hub. What do we do apart from the Finex School that we run on Saturdays? This is all to help you know what you are coming to learn this season. Then we'll go into the new dish that we are going to serve this season. Okay? And then finally, you meet the chefs who are going to serve you the food, right? And then we'll start cooking. Are you all okay? So this is how we are going to proceed. Right. So welcome to the Finex Kitchen once again, and let's go right into our recipe. So Finex Skills Hub is a digital skills training hub. In fact, we don't just teach, we've been cooking since 2016. What we decided to do, I keep saying this, is that nobody learns these skills in a structured way, even for students who do computer science. I have personally experienced some students confess to me that they actually go through 4 years of learning without even practicing what they learn. It's more theoretical. So if you're not lucky and you don't get a teacher who is a bit modern, a lot of the things that you come out after 4 years is just theory, right? So what we decided to do is that we want to bridge the gap. We want to be in between academia and industry, continuously researching on new skills that can help workers and students be able to add value to what they do, okay? You want to be able to be valuable, even if you are working alone as a freelance or you are looking for jobs. It is these skills that would separate you. So in the last few years, we started with Microsoft Excel. We've gone into business intelligence and data analytics. We've also gone into financial modeling. In fact, in the first 5 years of Finex School, we're mostly into financial modeling. We are the approved training providers for the Financial Modeling Institute in Canada. We've trained almost 40 certified financial modelers. People keep asking. Now, I'll show you why even financial modeling is also under threat under AI. Because these days, AI can even model for you. I'll give you a case study. So if you are a financial modeler and you don't know how to take advantage of what we now call Excel agents, which can think if you give it a prompt and model and do calculations for you, in the next, in fact, 6 months, you'll probably be looking for a new job. Because the person who is employing you to be a financial modeler, when he discovers Excel agents, is in a comfortable lead. He would rather pay maybe $20 a month than pay your SNIT and welfare and all the things that you add to his head. That is the reality I'm telling you. So we say that AI is not going to take away our jobs. Well, I'm not too sure about that. The reality is that AI is taking over jobs already. But the people who stay in the jobs are those who will take advantage of the AI tools to improve what they already do. And that is why we are here. So for us as Finex Skills Hub, we'll keep researching. We are always looking for the news in AI and some of these productivity tools to help you work smart and save time. Right. In the last few seasons, we focused on turning raw data into delicious insights. In fact, if you've joined us in the last few seasons, you realize our focus mainly has been in data analytics, BI, and AI, because we feel that the kind of volume the kind of data we are generating in these recent months and years requires skills. People who have the ability to be able to churn insights out. Right. So these tools, the ones that you are familiar with, Power BI, PowerPoint, Excel, these are Microsoft's main tools. Apart from these tools, there are also the Power Apps. There's also Microsoft Fabric. All these tools are taking advantage of the data and AI space, right? Microsoft's generative AI is called Copilot. For those who are using recent versions of Microsoft, when you open, you see Copilot in your face. In fact, now, the way Excel and PowerPoint and these tools work is changing. We are moving away from the hardcore formula work to now being able to prompt. So once you are able to prompt, the work will be done for you. So very soon, you can talk to Copilot, you can put in prompts for Copilot, you can turn Copilot into an agent that can work on your behalf. And they are working 24 hours to make sure that they win this race against all the competitors. There's also ChatGPT, which got us here somewhere in November 2024. They started the whole generative AI. In fact, it took them a very short period to hit 1 million users, right? They are also working very hard. So I'm sure most of you, is there anybody here who hasn't used ChatGPT before? You're all part of the 1 million. I'm happy. Because 6 months after ChatGPT came, I actually went to teach in one of the banks. And when I asked the question, there was no hand up, and I was worried. But I'm happy that ChatGPT has now become part of what we do. Because if you don't, your colleague will use it on your blind side. Are you with me? Okay. Then there is Google's Gemini. It started as Google Bard. And they realized the Bard was getting synonymous with something, so they changed it. So Gemini has become very powerful. In fact, people argue that in terms of generative AI images and all those things, this guy is in a very comfortable lead. We would explore how to take advantage of Google Gemini to enhance our work, right? There's also Google AI Studio for building codes and deploying them. Everybody's job is under threat now, including even traders. So right now, I'm also considering alternative ways, maybe a farm or something like that. Right. Now, let's go into our secret recipe. And this one, I'm telling you because you are here. So our secret recipe, our secret sauce, and why you should join Finex Skills Hub is that all our training sessions are workshop styled with a lot of hands-on practice. So if you join us, please, you are not going to be listening to a monologue. This is the only time that I speak and you don't do anything. But even that one, I'm going to end it in the next 10 minutes, and then we'll do some practice to test your skill. So when you join us, be ready to burn energy. We call ours a workshop-styled training. Okay, we'll be giving you resources. You'll be admitted to a Google Classroom where all the things that we create together will be accessible to you from Monday to Friday before the next class comes. And even when you graduate, you still have access to these resources, right? That's one of our secret sauce. All our facilitators, you meet the chefs, we are all certified trainers. All the required exams we've gone through and we are passing it on to you. So you are in a comfortable hand. So whoever is teaching you has done this for several years. We've run all the requisite exams and we are passing on that experience to you. And what we consciously do is that we also blend students and workers. As I sit here, I'm looking at a student who is comfortably seated with her father, which is impressive. Thank you, Father. Right? So, and I have other students online, Jerry and Paul. We intentionally do this. We actually give students scholarships. So every student who comes to a finance season gets a scholarship. The intention is that, the Gen Zs and the Gen Alphas, their energy is at a different level. So they blend with our experience, and then we all cook a very rich experience together. So every time we consciously make students and workers just to make sure that the learning experience is good for everybody. We give you flexible online and in-person schedules. As you may have read in the brochure, what we normally do is that this current class is hybrid. There are those in person at East Legon, and there are those online who are listening in. We know that sometimes you want to come here, and there are also times you want to work from home. We made it possible. So if you want to switch, it's the same content, it's the same curriculum. So you can always switch in between online and in person. That is the flexibility we give you. And as I mentioned, all of you are going to be admitted to a Google Classroom. So after this session, we are going to share codes for what you've signed up for. And then beginning next Saturday, you will now be joining our sessions via Google Classroom. And that is how you will learn. Are you on the same page? So that's our secret sauce. Don't tell anyone. Okay. Let's go back a bit in time. So this is Finex Skills Hub. This is how we started. When we started, we were at Legon, University of Ghana, and we started as a financial modeling community. So this were our early days in 2016. A lot of the students you see here are currently still with us. Okay. Then, by God's grace, we've been able to move from a small country kitchen, I must say, to a nationwide movement. So now, Finex Skills Hub, at least most people know what we do. And that is the advantage you get, that most people come to us because of what we do, looking for skilled students for jobs. So one gentleman asked me yesterday that, can we get jobs when we are done? Yes. I'll take your questions online. You can get jobs as long as you match up or you meet us halfway. Because when the jobs come, we have an alumni WhatsApp group. We share them. They are here, they will confirm. Right? Data analytics, financial modeling. These days, I've seen AI vacancies coming up. So as long as you are in a good position, the jobs will come. As a freelancer, work abroad, work in person, work in Ghana, all these options we post them, right? So that is how far we've come since 2016. As a financial modeling community, we've evolved into almost over 1,000 member community of students and workers. Now, let's go into the future. What are we looking at? So for our future recipe, we are looking at a situation where Finex Skills Hub is leading an army of digitally savvy students and workers. I keep saying that if anybody is shining at the office, we want that person to be identified as a Finex product. In fact, most of you here are here because of referrals. You are here because of what you've seen us do. So we want that tag to be with us, that if there's anybody using the tool in a very nice way, the person should be a Finex product. We want to be able to bridge the gap between academia and industry. That is our mission. I've mentioned that already. And our goal every year is we want to be able to train at least 400 students and workers every year. I'll tell you why this is possible. Because you have a family kitchen. Now, this family kitchen is not only Finex School, which is what you have joined this Saturday, but we also have other programs that we run. We've run a project we call Excel Our Girls. What we do is this is a sponsored program. We sponsor 20 girls in data, analytics skills, AI, and app development. In fact, we've done 2 seasons already. One of our old students, Yvonne, has been very, very, very active in this project for us. If you have funds lying there and you want leverage, please join us. What we normally do is that we throw adverts out there. Normally over 200 girls apply. We select them and then we empower them with these skills. We believe that if you empower girls, it has a ripple effect. They say boys also suffer. So maybe if you have the funds to also do Excel Our Boys. So that's one of our communities. We also have a project called Students in Data Analytics. We've been running this project since 2017 on the campuses. So we started mainly at the University of Ghana, and we've seen the fruits of this project that we've been doing. So Students in Data Analytics is our focused training at the University of Ghana for now. We hope to expand. God willing, when we launch again, all the students will be able to hear. But that is one of our projects that we run on campus. And what you are currently doing is the Finex School. In the Finex School, we bring workers and students to our premise here at East Legon, and then we learn over a period. So in this case, we are going to be learning over 7 Saturdays, right? Very practical. So these are the members of our family kitchen, and we welcome all of you as we cook together this evening. Are we all on the same page? Okay, fantastic. Now, what are we serving this season? What's the new dish this season? I mentioned that if you are new to Excel, you are in a good place, because we are going to start with how to leverage Excel to get data, transform data, analyze data, and then turn it into insights. Most of you know this as dashboards or business intelligence. In Excel, it's not only pivot table that does this for us. We want to introduce all of you to the tools in Excel for business intelligence. I'll touch on that very soon. So you should know about Power Query, Power Pivot, DAX, pivot tables, dynamic arrays, and all those things. I'll introduce you to that when we start. Now, 10 years ago, Microsoft introduced another business intelligence platform called Power BI. Power BI has been in the system for 10 years. And I know most people haven't even heard of it before, which is fine. We always, this part of town, most people don't wake up to things early. It's when the thing has sunset. Because Power BI has been in the system for 10 years. Now, the reason Power BI is good is that most big guns, most big corporate firms prefer Power BI for reporting because it allows for collaboration. So what you do with Excel is fine. But what Power BI does is that it helps you create your charts and your insights and all those things But if you are working in a team, like you are in the finance team or sales team, it allows for collaboration. So one report can be shared among many in real time. There's only one version of truth, right? So Power BI, beyond the ability to collaborate, also has enhanced data or business intelligence tools, enhanced DAX, enhanced visuals, okay? It has inbuilt Python and R codes that you can use to analyze. You can publish online, embed in your website, even embed in PowerPoint, which is something that we will learn. The future of presentations is seamless and dynamic. Gone were the days where you cut images and then you put them in PowerPoint slides. If the next month updates, then you have to do the whole thing again. Eh? You have started though. You have break. You have done for September. Now, when October comes, then you have to cut everything and then start. No. Now, what Microsoft is doing is that in Excel, you can integrate into Power BI. Power BI can integrate into PowerPoint. You have a full cycle, right? That is what we hope to show you. But not just these tools at the generic level. We want to also learn how Copilot, how ChatGPT, how Gemini are changing things for us. These are almost free tools. It's when you add some extra things that you pay $20 a month, example for ChatGPT. But honestly, $20 a month against your Netflix and other subscriptions, I think it's a good investment. So please, those who are using the free ChatGPT, we have seen you. It is time to upgrade. There's a lot of goodies in there. If you are using Microsoft Excel, a cracked version, please upgrade to Microsoft 365. Because now the Microsoft Office apps are on steroids. They are now transforming into agents, right? Just for $5 or $9 a month, you can get more done. And that is why you are here. Then Gemini 2 in the workspace can give you a lot more. So what we are adding to all these is what we call storytelling. Storytelling. How do you engage? How do you put together PowerPoint presentations that would bring your audience along? If you are new to PowerPoint, we'll learn how to design from scratch. Okay? Most of you always use the heavy animation and those things, but truth is that for most PowerPoint presentations, if you know about morphing, how many of us know about morphing? Good. Morphing is a very good feature in storytelling. We'll learn how to link them together, put characters to what we hope to communicate, how to get the images, transition, edit them, and then to put some storylines behind what you have gathered in Excel and Power BI. So the new recipe we are adding this season is the ability to enhance your narration or presentation with storytelling. And that is what we are doing this season. Now, let's meet the chefs. So this is Bernard. This is your chef at the back of the counter with other chefs who are also bringing in some spices. So I'm not doing this alone. We have Osbet. Osbet is an advanced financial modeler, currently working in finance at 80. Yes. Okay. And this is the Excel guy. So the Excel guy is also here with us. In fact, he consults for many of the Excel projects and then the AI jobs that we do. The good thing about the Excel guy is that he speaks French. So those who are multilingual, if you have challenges understanding English, please, he's there to help you. He is also an advanced financial modeler and a Microsoft certified trainer. We also have Danilo. So Daniel is a chartered accountant, an advanced financial modeler, very good with the apps, building low-code apps, right? So if you want to transform your Excel work into apps, he's your go-to guy. You'll be taking the Excel class with the rest of the team. So you'll meet Daniel in due course. So we move on to the next set. This is Priscilla. Priscilla works as an Azure data scientist and a software developer at CBG, Consolidated Bank Ghana. Now you realize that all your teachers are passing on their experience to you. They are not your typical book teachers. So these are people who build. So when they teach, they teach you with experience, right? This is Ernest Abwaje. Ernest currently is in the US, Atlanta, Georgia. He used to be in finance and strategy at Absa Bank. He'll be joining us online. Right now it's 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. there. But the afternoon sessions, he will join us online. Then Miss Na, hello, Miss Na. She's at the back. Okay, so Miss Na is a sales analyst at Danex. It appears to be the largest pharmaceutical firm now because they've merged. So she looks into the data for them. She's a sales analyst there. So now it's a financial modeler and valuation analyst, FMBA. Also very good with SQL queries. So she'll be passing on that experience in the Excel class as well. Then here's the winger. The winger is also currently in Miami. Also will be joining us online. Also an advanced financial modeler and a Microsoft Office specialist. Consults in a lot of financial modeling projects. And our baby last is Solis, also in the fintech space, currently working with One Africa, right? So it's not only Bernard you'll be seeing. You'll be seeing a mix of faces who will be passing on their experience to you, right? So this is a brief tour of our kitchen and what we are going to serve you. I hope you have your plate ready and you are ready to serve yourself. Are you on the same page? Are you on the same page? Okay, so let's get into action. We are going to talk about the brochure. I'm sure most of you have gone through the brochure already. But what we normally do is that when we meet like this, we take your questions and we also try and explain things to make it easier for you to come along. And that's why we call it the orientation class. We'll discuss the modules. So we'll discuss the data analytics with Excel in detail, Power BI in detail, storytelling with PowerPoint in detail, so that you are clear what you are signing up for. Are you on the same page? Then we'll discuss logistics. How are we going to learn? For those who are joining us online, how are you going to set up? The way we set up when we are learning online is not a Zoom meeting setup. What we normally recommend is that you have an extra gadget that you are going to use for your video feed so that you have access to your full laptop for practice. We'll go through that during the logistics session, and then we'll take your questions. Please, are you on the same page? So that is the agenda, and that is what we are going to serve you. I'll take your questions when it is question time, but hopefully you are ready and have whet your appetite for us to proceed. Now, please fire up a blank Excel workbook. Please fire up a blank Excel workbook. If you are a beginner, at least that one day you can do it. Are we here? Today is an open class. We are going to learn how to use Excel, Power BI, and PowerPoint to turn data into delicious insights. And that is our journey. Now, by the way, this is currently how Excel opens. Did you all get this? Let me give you a glimpse into the future. In the future, you are going to open Excel like this, excel.new. Okay? And then when you open excel.new, what we are going to get, this is a new Excel logo. Are you with me? This is the new Excel logo. Now, when it opens up and you are signed up to Microsoft 365, you are going to get an environment that is on standby for your prompts. Okay? Don't worry. I will show you how to get this. But I'm just giving you a glimpse into the future. Now, When Excel opens up like this, and then you go to home, there's a tab here called Excel Labs. Okay. This is where the AI stuff are cooking. So if I come to Excel Labs, I said, if you don't see, don't worry. I'll show you how to get to this point. So there's something now called Excel Agent, right? This is your agent, like your partner sitting by you. Are you on the same page? The future of work is going to be set up like this. Your prompt pane to your right, your work and your outputs to your left. And in fact, this setup is similar to Word PowerPoint. We don't yet have agents for PowerPoint, but I'm sure they are cooking it. But we have Copilot in all of them. Now, this is how it works. Usually, you can prompt it if you have data, or you can ask it to create something. So I'm going to show you this data that I have here. So this is raw data that we are all going to practice together. Okay. So this is data on sales. And I want to show you how simple work has become. So if I give you this data, which I'm going to share with you, and I ask you to analyze it, the question is, where are you going to begin from? So this is regular sales data. I'm sure most of you can identify. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to share it with you, don't worry. Come here, and I'm going to paste this. I have a lot of things going on now, so let me ensure that I go step by step. So I'm going to share that data with you, and then we'll learn how to analyze it together as a way to introduce ourselves to the tools and the new way that we work. So this is our data. It's basically data on sales. Okay. This is agent mode. Now, in the future, I don't really have to work hard. All I need to do is I can say, analyze this data and share some insights with me. Right? Now, earlier, what we had was that Copilot would have analyzed this data on the side. But this agent actually gets hands-on. It gets into the Excel grid, the cells and the ranges. It can even create formulas, insert tabs, insert pivot tables, and all those things. So every action is giving you its reasoning, building the insights, how it's proceeding, and all those things are going to be displayed. Okay, so let's give it some time. It will organize the data. I'm showing you this because we are going to do this manually. Now, the reason most of the time I like to show you what the future looks like is, if you want to even work with the future, you should understand the fundamentals, right? You should know how pivot tables behave. You should know how Power Query behaves. You should know how to use DAX and all those things. And that is why I give you a glimpse of the future, and then we come backwards, and then we learn together. Now, while this is reasoning, please go online and download this data so that we work together. In your URL, enter BIT. Now, please set them up. The password is there. So it's Finex or Finex at MTN. Yes, Finex all. So I'm sharing So it's BIT. Can you see the screen online? That's the link, yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So, okay.
Hi, Bernard, can you put it in the chat?
Sure,
Is that
let me do that.
possible?
Yes. So I'll put it in the chat for those who are online. Please download it and let's get hands on. So it's bit.ly/Finex, FINEX S20, season 20. It will download, it will first open a Google spreadsheet. Have you connected the internet yet? Okay, now please access Amos. So when it opens, go online and push in bit.ly/FINEX S20, Finex season 20. That's the abbreviation. Okay, so I'm saying that it would download a spreadsheet, a Google spreadsheet. When it downloads that Google spreadsheet, go to File, Download, and then get an offline Excel version. That's what we are going to use. Please get the offline version. We are not going to work in the spreadsheets. In your URL. So what you normally do is that in your browser, so in your browser, where you put in the addresses. So when you type, it should bring something like this. Are we good? Fantastic. Online, are you game?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, we are doing it.
Okay, so when it opens like this, please go to File, Download, and then choose Microsoft Excel so that you can get an offline version. If you're having challenges, you can hotspot briefly and download the files. But now we'll assist you. Okay. Now, while we get this done, let's see what our agent has been able to cook for us. While we're busy, even though it's reported a little glitch, I mean, this was released some weeks ago, but here, you can see what it has done. So what it has done is that it has actually calculated total sales. It has calculated total profits, total orders, average order value, and so on. These are the KPIs, the key performance indicators. It has also broken down the sales by region. You can see. It has also created some charts ready to create your dashboard instantly. And all this I did with one prompt. So it has created and delivered all these for me. Okay, I can proceed and then ask it to do something else. Now, what makes this agent powerful is that in the past, when Copilot did something like this for you, whatever model it gives you is disconnected. But this one, if you are even modeling, the formulas are linked. So for accounts and finance people, Excel agent has come for you because your depreciation and loan amortization and all those things can be done easily. Are you on the same page? So that is how these office tools are behaving. In fact, it is good. We are looking forward to having all the agents in Word, in PowerPoint. In fact, in the next 6 months, which is probably even too far, it is likely that for PowerPoint presentations, I'll show you that too. If you get your storyline right and your outline right, it should be able to generate something for you easily. Are you on the same page? Okay. Now, let's come to our data. I'm sure you all have it here. Are we here? So if the AI has been able to do it, you, the human being who says AI will not take away your job, what can you do with this data? You see the reality you're facing. The AI, even with glitches, because my computer is heavy, if I just switch laptops, this is not my regular computer, so it's a bit slow. On a regular laptop, this can be done in less than a minute. Yes. That prompt I did can be done, and the analysis will be done in less than a minute. So you are the human being now, without AI. How are you going to proceed with this? Your task is to analyze the data. Today, we want to move from data analysis to storytelling. When you get data and you want to analyze, the first thing that you need to understand is to get a sense of the length and breadth of the data. We call that EDA, exploratory data analysis, right? Exploratory data analysis. What columns or what fields are in the data? It gives you how the columns and the category columns and the value columns can come together to create your stories. So for our old students, they are very familiar with this data, but those who are new, what do you think this data is about? It's about sales. Somebody says about sales, right? Is there any other opinion? Yes. Fantastic. It also looks like a tech shop and they are selling devices. Are we on the same page? Anybody seen something else? So it's sales, it looks like a tech shop, and they are selling devices. All the regions in Ghana are also in there. Now, let's try something. Please, stand inside the table. Are we here? Are we here? Okay. Please, do you see power pivot here? You see power pivot? You don't? Okay. I'll talk about power pivots. For those who are new, please come to data. Are we at data? Okay. Let's come to the data tools. Can you see data tools here? Can you see data tools here? Okay. Can you see data tools? So under data tools. Can you see data tools? There's a lemon cube here. Can you see this one? It's called manage the data model. Can you see it? Let's take it again. This one is available for everybody, honest. Mark people. The Mark people, please see me in my office. But I'm saying that go to data. Are you at data? Are you at data? Okay. Then in data, there's a group called data tools where you see text to columns and those things. Can you see it? Can you see it? Fantastic. Can you see manage the data model? Here. Yeah. What's this color called? The ladies. Lemon green. There's a lemon green icon. Can you see it? Okay. Can you see it? Okay. Now, what do you see there? Do you see manage data model? Oh, you don't have that arrow. Okay. 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 So please, before we come into that, you wait for me there. You wait for me there. Let's online. Are you okay? Is online okay? Can you hear me?
Yes, we're
Yeah.
fine.
Yes, we
Yes.
can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, we are fine.
Fantastic. What I want you to do is prepare your materials for the practice. So if you can't find it, it's fine. I'll come back. Okay. Okay. Now, let's go through some definitions first before we get hands-on in Excel, PowerPoint, and Power BI. So for our old students, this is going to be a recap. We want to first know the difference between business intelligence and data analytics and why it is important. Then we'll talk about career path for those of you who want to venture into data. In fact, in this era, data is almost like a common denominator now. I've said that it is not an IT job anymore. So if you are in sales or you are in finance or whatever that you do, the denominator for you is that you have to add data or the ability to analyze data to what you do. We'll have a tour on BI in Excel, business intelligence in Excel. We'll talk about Power BI, okay? And then we'll discuss the AI tools. I just gave you a little demo, and I realized people are setting up. So we'll go into Copilot, Gemini, and these tools, and then we'll round up with PowerPoint and how we can take advantage of it to enhance our storytelling. I normally like to go through these definitions so that when we get hands-on, it's clearer for everybody. Now, BI and data analytics, right? I've mentioned that if AI hasn't come for your job yet, be on standby. Because currently, this even has to be updated. 86% of workers we call knowledge workers are under threat. Because if your job is anything like automation, something that repeats itself, right? If you don't upgrade, most likely something is going to take over that process very soon. In fact, for accountants right now, you know that with a trial balance, this Excel agent I just showed you can prepare a full financial. So the green pen and the red pen is going to be put aside for now. Now, as for clerical roles like data entry, administrative assistants, and those ones, I'm sure you're already feeling the heat. Because if you were a secretary and those times your boss asks you to draft letters, you're already out of the game while the rest are in queue. Okay. So please, the reason you are here is that you have to take advantage of these AI tools. Now, what is business intelligence? Business intelligence mostly deals with historical data. How do we harness historical data, analyze it, check patterns and trends in it, okay, so that we can advise ourselves for the future. Basically, we want to know what has happened in the past. So if it's sales data, which products sold well? If it's HR data, we want to know which department is not meeting their standards. If it is accounting, we want to know which areas you are making losses. So it's a bit more historical. Are you with me? So business intelligence has actually been with us since the 70s and 80s. Just at those times, we're doing it with big machines like the Oracle and those ones. But what Excel and Power BI has given us is what we call self-service. Self-service is on your own with your laptop. You can get historical data and then get insights on your own. Now, basically, what business intelligence seeks to do is to answer the question on what happened and why it happened. So tools like Excel and Power BI will give you a very good platform to summarize the historical data, do top 5, do trends, and be able to know the shape and form of what happened in the past. That is business intelligence. So in fact, the BI in Power BI is business intelligence, historical data. But when we try to predict what is likely to happen in the future, okay, use the same historical data to inform how the future is going to look like, run scenarios, and build models, then we are doing data analytics. So in data analytics, we want to use that historical data to tell ourselves what is likely to happen based on that. And how do we even influence what is likely to happen? So for those who want to go into data science, you'll be creating hypotheses and models to be able to detect or determine the future. That is data analytics in broader terms. So sometimes we use it interchangeably, but in the end, both business intelligence and data analytics are about understanding data. How do we take raw data and get insight from it? And that's going to be our journey in the next 7 Saturdays. So in summary, business intelligence is descriptive. It helps describe what has happened in the past. It is diagnostic. It tells us why what happened in the past happened. Data analytics, on the other hand, attempts to predict. And then it also is able to prescribe, or is more prescriptive. Okay, gives us a sense of what is likely to happen and how we make it happen in the future. So that is, we'll be using this interchangeably. But the truth is that Power BI in its current form allows you to do both comfortably. If you know Power BI, you know that it now sits on a bigger platform for data science and machine learning called Fabric. We'll discuss that when we come to Power BI. Now, somebody will say that, why Power BI or why Excel? There are a lot of tools that we can use currently. There's Power BI, there's Excel, there's Tableau. Most of you have heard of Tableau too, right? But the reason we like Power BI is that when it comes to Microsoft and this business intelligence journey, Microsoft is in a very comfortable mood. There's a body of knowledge, a body that actually supervises or churns insights on the business intelligence platforms. And so far, even this one is a bit outdated. Microsoft's Power BI tools or Microsoft BI tools is ahead of most of the BI tools. And that is why we like using BI and Excel. If you get a chance, you probably want to add a bit of the other tools to it just to give you a bit of leverage. But so far as we are concerned, when it comes to business intelligence, Power BI is in a comfortable league. Are we on the same page? Okay. Now let's talk about career paths. If you're a student and then you are looking at what do I become in the future, please, enough of I want to be a doctor. Yeah? Everybody wants to be a doctor. Even the doctors right now, they are adding data science and data analytics to what they are doing. Okay. So regardless of your area, whether you're in pharmaceuticals or whatever it is, please, there are options for you to add a data side to what you do. So if you are into logistics, like Amos, you can become the data analyst in logistics. Okay. Now, there is an area or profile called the business analyst. What the business analyst does is that he understands the business and then he leverages on his data skills to be able to analyze and interpret the data to support the business decisions. In fact, if you already are a knowledge worker in the industry, and then you add some of these BI tools to what you do, you are essentially a business analyst because you are adding your experience in the industry with your data skills. Are you on the same page? So there's an option for you to be a business analyst if you like. There's also the generic data analyst. That person turns raw data into relevant and meaningful insights. Okay? He designs and builds effective data models. So you can be a core data analyst, right? Just that you're probably not as knowledgeable as the business analyst. But as long as data is given to you, you're able to turn insights out nicely. The data scientist is the one who looks into the future. If you're a data scientist, you prepare hypotheses, you prepare models, you draw more on machine learning to be able to inform what is likely to happen. In fact, if there were data scientists in the house, you are probably going to tell us how the dollar is going to behave next year based on historical patterns. Are you with me? So these are all options for you. As I'm talking about this, there are now very, very, very possible ways to really become freelance in some of these tools. You don't wait for somebody to employ you, right? You start creating your own portfolio, make noise online on LinkedIn, and they'll come your way. Okay. There's also the data engineer. Now, what a data engineer does is that he provisions or she provisions and sets up data technologies on premise and in the cloud. So you are the one who actually puts the pipelines, build systems for the data scientists and those guys to work. If you want to also go in there, please, that part is also open. Then finally, there's the database administrator. You are the governor. You manage logins, making sure things are secure and all those things. Please, these are not even cast in stone. Here, I did not even consider AI and what is adding to this. So the point I'm making is that if you are coming into data, there are options for you. Are you on the same page? Okay. Now, what is a typical learning path? Good old Microsoft Excel is a good place to start. Why? Because Excel is flexible. Excel allows you to understand data, how to store it, how to structure it, how to use tables, okay, how to use pivot tables. All these will give you a good foundation. Then you can build on this and go into Power BI and Fabric, right? Here, I said that you could also add Tableau to it if you like. SQL. Who can tell me why SQL is important in this journey? Online. Yes, that's a full meaning. Yes, structured query language. Yes.
To generate queries on the data.
To generate queries on the data. That's correct. The point is that most of the companies and projects you'll be working on, they don't store their data in folders on computers. Most of the data sits in the cloud. Okay. You have to learn how to be able to bring down the data in a structured way for your analysis, right? So in the cloud space, in your Azure platforms, knowing how to run these scripts to bring the data you need at which points for your analysis is very important. So SQL is a good skill to have. Then, of course, Python and R, right? This is very useful for all the kind of data analysis we do, plus even helping us analyze unstructured data, right? So Python and R is also a good one. Then good old AI. Please, you don't need to get the certificates before you can learn this one. If you go to OpenAI platform right now, they have a learning module. Gemini also has a learning module. Microsoft has a learning module. So don't wait and get certificates before you master AI. These tools are currently online that you can learn and master on your own. Right. Now, let's now come back to the Excel sheets. I hope you all have it now. Do you all have it now? We are going to start with Excel touch on Power BI, and then we'll end with PowerPoint. So today's class is an orientation class. We should be done latest by 11, and then we'll take your questions. Are we here? You have the data now. Fantastic. Okay. Now, my old students know what I'm coming to ask. And pardon me if you're an old student, but because they are new students, we also have to go through this so that we are all on the same page. How many of these tools do you know in Excel? Honest. So you can mark yourself 1, 2, 3, 8 over 10, 9 over 10. Zero is a good place to start. And that's why you are here. It's a very comfortable place to start. In fact, we all started from there. Let's take them one by one. Tables. Yes, that one there. Herman knows. Because all the people who are reading their hands, at least I know I've taught them tables at our first meeting somewhere. So tables are important because when it comes to data in Excel, you need a way to store them in a structured way. To be able to work with the tables and data without your mouse. So if I create a table, I can work with a name in such a way that I don't have to see the table physically. Today, if you don't learn anything at all today, you learn about tables before you go. Are we on the same page? There's Power Query. Please, who has heard of Power Query? Okay. Power Query is Excel's ETL. ETL is extract, transform, and load. Take it this way. It is an engine in Excel that is used to clean and transform data. So if you download data from your system and there are characters in there that you don't like, there are columns that you need to merge. Okay? There are columns you need to split. Especially if you do these transformations every time the data comes. What Microsoft Excel has is it has a dedicated engine that can allow you to transform the data. And it saves your steps so that you don't have to do it over and over again. Right? So look at it this way. Power Query is a cleaning agent in Excel. I'll introduce you properly. Okay. So that's 2 over 10, right? Is that 2 over 10? Okay. Dynamic arrays. Now, let's go to the Excel and let me show you something. Please, those who are here for storytelling, we are coming very soon. So let's go to the data and do some practice. Are we here? Are we here? Please, do you all have this Excel? Do you all have this Excel? Now, do you know that if I ask you to do any analysis on this data, you're going to take your mouse and then try and highlight true or false? Right? Your first inclination is that you will lift your mouse. So most students, when their mouse is not working, you are in panic mode. Yes. So when Chairman came this morning, you have to go and buy batteries for the mouse. Right? But if you are going to work in data in Excel, tables save you that mouse work. Please stand anywhere in a cell. Stand anywhere in. So stand in a cell. Are you in a cell? Are you in a cell? Now press Control T together. Say, Mark, you come along with this one. Yes. Control T, yes. This one, Mark, is in the comfortable lead. You see something happening? So Control plus T. You see this dialog box here? It's trying to do something for you. It's trying to convert your data from a range into a table. Please, are you with me? So click OK. Did it happen? Please, this is going to be your topic 1 next week. What we are going to do is we want to learn what tables are and what they can do for us. Now, the advantage with tables is this. When we create a table like this, it means that we can work with the data even if we can't see it. Are you with me? Now, for all those who created the table, come to table design. Are you in table design? There's a tab there called table design. If you created a table, there's a tab here called design. Can you see design? Or table design? Can you see it? Please, when you click on it, on your far left, do you see table name? Do you see table name? What currently is your table name? Table 1. Please, where table 1 is, click there. Click inside table 1. Have you clicked inside table 1? Now, delete it and name it sales. Have you named it sales? Do you know what this means? That going forward, you can carry that name sales and work with it without physically seeing the table. Are you with me? So if I want to analyze this data, all I need to know is there's something called sales, which contains all the columns in my table that I can work with. Let's test it. Please come and stand in V. Any cell in column V. Are we there? Okay. In fact, the question should have been, why not T? Why not T? Can any old student tell us why not T? We are all learning. If there's an old student here, we the new students want to know, why are we now standing at T? Yes, please go ahead. If you are talking, you are muted. So the question is, why are we not standing at T?
Okay, it's because you've created a table, and with tables, when you create a new column, it will be added to the table because it recognizes that when you create a new column, it's also part of what you created already. So it will just be added to the table.
Okay, thank you. So what he said is that when you create a table, anything that you put close to the table is added to the table. So the assumption is that you are going to create something that is a new column. But what I'm coming to do, I'm not going to create something that will be added to it. So I'm giving it space. Are you with me? So in practice, what's going to happen is if I do an X here, my table is going to expand. The good thing about this feature is that it helps me automate your work. So if I add new columns to the right and I add new rows at the bottom, my September report, the one that I did images on, you're not going to do images anymore because when October comes, you will just add it to the table and it will expand. And then on refresh, your calculations will update automatically. That's why we like tables, because whatever you do has a dynamic connection to all your calculations because the tables auto expand when you add new data. Are you on the same page? Now, I'm coming to V because what I'm coming to do is not related to adding a column or a new row. What we are going to do is we want to fetch the name of the table. Let's try this. Equal to. Yes, sorry. Just one space. Just leave one data. So that, especially when you are doing something that is not related to the table. In this case, we are just doing side calculations. Please, are you on the same page? Okay, so please, you can stand in U or V onwards. Are we here? Now type equal to. Are we here? What's the name of the table? Sales. Please call the name of the table sales. They didn't respond. They didn't respond. Now press the tab key. Do you know the tab key? The tab key is before letter Q on a normal keyboard. Right? So if you are learning how to analyze data in Excel as a beginner, tables is non-negotiable because we want to be able to work faster. It's not every time I ask you a question that you come and take your mouse and then you mouse over and do a calculation for me. Please, are you with me? This is referencing the table. Bring a square bracket. Do you know a square bracket? A square bracket is after letter P. The box brackets. When you added the box brackets, what happened? There's a drop down that is showing you what? All the columns. The technical name for this is called the fields. Please, are you with me? So in topic 1, you learn about tables and structured referencing. It's a foundation lesson for everybody so that you learn how to comfortably handle data in Excel. This doesn't make sense. So this is for those who scored 1/10. So right, I move from 0 to 1, right? Okay. Now, Power Query. Power Query is a cleaning agent. Let's see it in action. What I'm going to do is that for each of the tools, I'm going to demo on some few things, right? So I'll talk about Excel, I'll talk about Power BI, I'll talk about PowerPoint. Okay. Today is not a class. Today is a preview class. So when we are done, we go through the brochure and all those things so that we are comfortable when we start next week. Okay, Power Query. What does Power Query do? Power Query allows us to load data and transform it. Transform means you are changing how the data was and optimizing it into another way that will be used for your analysis. So example, I have data that has 20 columns. I don't need all the 20 columns in my analysis. I want to work with only 4. If you go ahead and delete it from this original data, you are touching the source of your work. What Power Query does is that it leaves the original source there, and then it creates an optimized version for you to use for your analysis going forward. So if you determine that I don't need 16 columns, you can transform it in Power Query and work with 4 columns onwards. If you notice that I want this column capitalized, you can transform it in Power Query and use it going forward. Does it make sense? Let's try it. Stand inside your table. Are we here? Go to data. Are we here? Are we here? Please, on the far left of data, can you see get and transform? Get data. You see something there called get data. You see get data. Whatever version you have, there's something called get data. Get your external data or something like that. Can you all see it? Online, are you with me? Somewhere close to it, you see this table icon. Can you see this table icon? Like a small table. Can you see it? Okay. What you're going to do is when you click on this, this is Power Query in action. It is taking this existing data, the one that you have with 20-something columns, and then giving you the opportunity to transform it into what will work for you. Are you with me? Can we try that? So please make sure you are standing inside the table. Are we there? Click inside the table icon. So click inside the table icon. This one, Mark, you come along. 2 of us. Somehow. Can Can you see what I've got now? Mac has a different lift. Uh-huh. Yes, so try that and let's see. Mhm. Now, for those who are using Mac, the truth is that some of these features are not. Power Query exists in Mac. Power Pivot is not there yet. So for those who are using Mac, what we do is that we encourage you to get Parallel. It's a software that brings in the Windows environment. Okay, so you can get in touch with me. I'll share a contact with you. The person will assist you. Alternatively, if you have a Windows laptop, you can use it for the season. Because Power BI is not in Mac yet. The Power BI desktop. Online, you can work with Mac, but Power BI desktop is not in Mac yet. But yours is Windows, right? Please assist me here. Please, are you on the same page? Okay. So don't worry, we will get all these fine-tuned before the session starts next. Okay. Please, can you all see this screen? Can you all see this screen? Okay. Now we are going to do a very simple transformation. We'll talk about this in topic 2. The simple transformation we want to do is that we want to remove some columns we don't need, and then go forward with our analysis with the columns we need. By doing this, our original data is not going to be affected, but we will now create a version that will be useful for analysis, if you like, optimize for analysis. Please come to choose columns under home. Can you see choose columns under home? I'll introduce you to Power Query proper when we come to this topic. Under home, by the way, this is Power Query. It's not your regular Excel grid. Are we here? Okay. Now, select choose columns. Have you selected choose columns? Do you see the list of all the columns in the table? Let's assume that for the analysis you are coming to do, you only need the order dates, the segments, and the quantity sold. So let's do it this way. Let's uncheck everything. Have you unchecked everything? Let's check what we need. Let's check order dates. Are we there? Are we there? Let's check segments. And then let's check quantity. Are we here? Then we go ahead and then we click OK. Are you with me? So maybe for the analysis you are doing, you don't need all the columns. You just need these 3 columns for something. Power Query has transformed it for you. It doesn't mean the columns in original data have been deleted, but this is now a version you can use going forward for your analysis. Now, let's do it this way. When we are done, please come to home. Are we here? You see close and load. You see close and load. Let's choose the first one. I'll explain what the second one does again when we meet on Power Query. So please click on close and load. Have we clicked on close and load? You should see a new green table. Can you see a new green table? It may have a different color. I don't know whether yours is green. Yours is green. Okay. So the green means this is your transformed version, the one that you want to work with. That's what Power Query does. Now, the advantage is that whatever happens in the blue table going forward, if the blue table ended at September, if you add October's data to it, when you refresh, the green table will also update. with the same form and shape, but with the new data added. Does it make sense? Okay. Now, this is Power Query. We'll go into detail. I want to add one more feature that will probably help you, which is called pivot tables. That one everybody knows, right? Are people score 0/10? Oh, okay. It's fine. Pivot table is for summaries. Okay. So normally, if you see a dashboard, what is behind the dashboard in Excel mostly are pivot tables that are summarizing the data. So to insert a pivot table is pretty straightforward. You go to insert. Can we try that together? In fact, we could have just downloaded this straight to a pivot table. Mark, are you coming along? Okay. So insert pivot table. Are we here? So pivot table allows you to summarize data. When we say summarizing data, it just basically means a way to aggregate it and break it down. So here I can aggregate by summing quantity and then breaking it down by segments, so that I know which segment sold more, which segment didn't sell. Are you with me? Click OK. I've skipped a lot of details because I want to cover Power BI and PowerPoint in the next 30 minutes. Are you on the same page? Okay. Now, we'll go into pivot tables in detail. But if I check quantity, here, this is just for shaking reasons, click the box quantity here, and then check segments. Let's say you don't even know what is happening, you're just checking boxes. Right? You see that it has created a summary table that gives you the total sold by segment. And that is what the agent did for us. Right? One of the summaries that it did for us was it broke down total quantity sold by segment. Right? Now, what I want you to know is that some of these tools that we've covered is just 3 of many tools that we can use for analysis. Right? So we are going to cover tables, we are going to cover pivot tables, we are going to cover Power Query, we are going to cover DAX, cube functions, but those who scored 0, no. I tell you, we don't know charts. Charts in Excel. You know that one now. Maybe how you put it together to create a dashboard. So we'll talk about charts and slices. Then we'll talk about Copilot. Copilot is like the cousin of the agent I just showed you. It helps fast track the things that we do. And then we'll talk about Python in Excel. This is also one way that you can analyze unstructured data. I'll give you a hint on how it works. So that will be our journey for Excel. Now, normally what happens is that we will put all these together to create something we call a dashboard. Okay, so after we found ourselves, our smoothness level, we'll now use the knowledge to build block by block how to go through tables to Power Query to Power Pivot, learn how to build a data model, and then we'll build an interactive dashboard. So for most of you, the work that you do, you can actually build a dashboard that updates monthly. And then when new data comes in, you refresh and then you move on. These are you on the same page on the Excel. So one of the things we are going to be doing this season is data analytics with Excel. Are we clear? Good. Let's go to Power BI. I'm doing it this way, then I'll talk about storytelling in PowerPoint. Then you are clear on what you have signed up for. By the way, how many of us know Power BI? I'm asking those in the classroom. Okay, just to paint a picture for those who are online, is 2 hands. What is the color? It's yellow. Okay. Okay. Now, Power BI is actually free to use, the desktop version. The desktop version is free to use. So mostly if you are learning, don't worry about license. At least for what you're going to use it for, you can get it for free on Microsoft Store. Now, a typical Power BI report looks something like this. If you look at what Excel does, its ability to create charts, if you like. Tables, calculate
Mr. Bernard,
using
please, we can't
DAX.
hear you anymore.
Power BI can do all that. But the advantage it gives you is that it allows for collaboration and it gives you more options with publishing your work. So this is Power BI, that's the interface. We normally start with data. I normally encourage my students that if you can, learn Excel and Power BI because the learning is similar, right? So, online, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear.
No.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, we get-
We're breaking up, so we've missed quite a bit.
What was my last line?
I think it was when we went in, or just before you opened the Power BI. You know, when you had the circle showing the Power BI and then you kind of went into Power BI.
Can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Can you see the globe?
Yes.
Fantastic. Right. So what Power BI does is that if you look at how we visualize, analyze data with Excel, Power BI enhances that process. Okay. It has the option to give us better interactive visuals, if you like. Okay. But what makes Power BI a useful tool is, like I said, the way it is being used now, you can publish it online, your work. You can share your work in a workspace with your colleagues. You know, in the past, when you build an Excel dashboard, you have to send different versions when you change them. But in Power BI, when you create it in a workspace so that if there are any changes, everybody is feeding on the same version of truth. The future of reporting is going to be such that in Power BI, you can actually embed your Power BI work in PowerPoint. You know where this is going. If your tables update automatically, Power Query refreshes, your calculations update automatically when your tables update. It means that you can actually do a full cycle where your monthly reporting in PowerPoint is dynamic. Please, are you with me? So normally when we learn Power BI, we are learning it to embed it in PowerPoint for our presentations and storytelling. So our journey this season is going to be twofold. Those who are going to learn Excel, okay, you learn how to do your dashboards. Those who are going to learn Power BI, you learn how to create your reports. But those who are going to learn PowerPoint, even if you don't learn Excel and Power BI, we'll show you how to take data from these sources or any source and then turn it into a rich story for presentations. Are you on the same page? So for those who are new to Power BI, this Power BI, normally it begins with getting data, right? Once we get the data goes into Power Query. You guys know Power Query, right? You know Power Query? Oh, you're not familiar with Power Query? You know Power Query. I just mentioned Power Query. The truth is Power Query lives in Power BI as well. So Power Query is in the Excel, it's also in Power BI. So please, if you learn the two, it will be easier because it's the same concept that you are applying across. Are you on the same page? Okay. Then normally we will do our modeling. Modeling is where we connect multiple tables. So normally when we learn Power BI, we don't learn with one table because in the real world, you may be analyzing data across multiple related tables. You learn the concept of data modeling, how to connect tables that have relationships. So data analysis expressions. Don't be scared. DAX is just like your regular Excel formulas, but just that you don't calculate them in your Excel cells. Let me put it that way. It's a bit more powerful to help us get insights on our tables and columns. Okay. So then we put all this together to create our visualization. And then we'll learn how to publish this online or embed it in our PowerPoints. So for those who are new to Power BI, on day one, we'll all download it together from Microsoft Store. It's free to use. We'll use that desktop version throughout the session. The only time you buy a license is when you want to access your workspace or publish it online. Okay. That one requires a pro license. We'll discuss that. But for those who want to
We can't hear, it's breaking up.
Bernard, you're off. Your line is off, but we can't hear anything.
Hello. Has somebody been able to reach out to him?
Yeah, I've sent a text to them, but I don't know.
We are here.
I've not gotten a response yet.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, they are back.
Yeah.
They're back. Yeah.
We are back. Okay, we are back. Thank you. It was a little hang up from my side. So we are back now. Okay. So please, for those who are new to Power BI, I've said that, let me share my screen.
You are sharing your screen.
Yes, I'm sharing my screen. Thank you. Right. So I was mentioning the process we normally go through when we are learning Power BI. Please confirm, can you see my screen online?
Yeah, we can see it.
Yes.
Fantastic. So with Power BI, what we normally do is that we get data from many sources. We can get data from tables, from online, from SQL servers, and then we use Power Query to transform. I've mentioned Power Query, right? Then we'll do data modeling. Data modeling will basically be, example, I have HR data. Payroll sits in one table, the names of staff sit in another table. Can I put the two tables together and analyze at the same time? That's called data modeling. Okay, those two tables are related because there will be staff names in the staff register, and when you pay staff, you also use their names. So we'll connect the two tables and then we'll analyze. We normally like to use those case studies in Power BI to give you an extra advantage when you come across analyzing multiple tables in the real world. Okay, you learn about DAX calculations, data analysis expressions. Very, very simple formulas that draw on your data model. And then you learn how to visualize, right? So an example is what I showed you on how to visualize to communicate insights. And then finally, you learn how to publish your work. I said that for the first 4 activities, they are free in Power BI Desktop. So you can use Power BI Desktop to be able to do that. Then in the final activity where we publish, we will now leverage on Power BI Desktop. If you don't have the license, we'll give you a trial license so that you see how it works, how to publish it online, embed it in PowerPoint, and all those options that you can use at work. Does it make sense? Does it make sense? Okay, so that is Power BI, and that's how we are going to learn that. That's option 2. Now, I want to talk about PowerPoint. PowerPoint. If you followed us from the beginning, we intentionally overhauled our presentation. So I'm going back here. I want to show you some few things. What we normally do with PowerPoint is that we use it to present. And I know most people start off with images, you cut and then you paste. And then you do animations. Are you with me? Yes. That's how we use that. In fact, when we start PowerPoint, what we do is the first thing we do is to delete those text boxes, the placeholders. True or false? Now, we want to take it from the basics. We've done a PowerPoint class before. We use it for business presentations. But we want to talk about storytelling. Have you seen this effect? Have you seen this effect? See, there are ways that you can engage your audience without doing too much, right? The concepts I use here in serving food. You see that effect? What 2 tools did I use here? Online. This grow. Okay, somebody says I use grow. Okay, let's see. Online. What happened here? It looks like grow, but technically it's not grow. Okay. This effect is morphing, right? And morphing is one key feature that we use for storytelling, right? This one, what happened here? The lid going off the cover. Online in one. So here, if you go to animations, okay, if you go to animations, there's something that we don't pay attention to, and these are called motion parts. Have you come across motion parts? It's down there. Now, truth is that just with morphing transitions and motion parts, you can get a lot of your stories across easily. Now, when we talk about storytelling, what do we mean? You see, if you are a Bible person, and here I'm sure all the religions can relate, most of the prophets and Jesus himself normally or usually use stories, parables. Let's do a little Sunday school. Why do you think Jesus used parables most of the time? It makes the concepts easier to understand, right? Some people called me that they were coming to the Finex data kitchen because some way, somehow, the data kitchen and cooking data and all those things, that layer is a bit more relatable. Please, are you with me? Now, what we want to learn this season is that if I take Excel data, if I take Power BI data, or if I take any data, how do I move it from analysis to storytelling using these tools? Are you on the same page? So we are going to learn how to, can we try morphing? Please do Control N or open PowerPoint, sorry. I thought you all had this one. Open PowerPoint. Are you in PowerPoint? Do you see what I told you about? Is Copilot in your face? Okay, so those who are using the older version, you don't see Copilot. But right now, when you open PowerPoint, there is create a new presentation in front of you. There is create a presentation from a file in front of you. Can you see that? If you don't see that, don't worry, it's a version issue. But you're not going to use the latest version to learn. You're all going to use the generic one. But I like to point you to the future. So most likely, in the future, you could actually prompt for PowerPoint to create slides for you. Actually, it's happening already. It's not as if you could. But the only challenge I have with this is create a presentation about data, analytics, and business intelligence. You see what I did in Excel? I'm doing the same thing here. Okay, what it will normally do is that it will generate the outline slide by slide, as you can see. Okay, if I'm okay, then I can go ahead and generate slides. Then it would use the concept, put in design elements, which I can change if I like. So imagine you're working with a colleague in the same team, and then you take your work home, and then your colleague is privy to this. See, the advantage with Copilot is that it does the research for you. Even if you are blank on the subject, it will be able to do the research and the analysis for you. So all these slides are now going to be created. It will apply the design. So the first slide talks about data analytics and business intelligence, an agenda overview, blah, blah, blah. It's taking some time to get it done. This is your PowerPoint presentation done in just less than a minute. Okay, that is the future of work. Okay. So if I come, okay. So if I come and I'm doing my presentation, this is my presentation. I didn't do research, did I? Right? So this is where the tools are going. But there's a bit of it it's not able to do yet. That's the storytelling. So what we are going to learn with PowerPoint is we want to step back. And the insights that we have gathered, how do we collect, put it together, design? So we'll learn about how to design using icons and illustrations, how to use themes to design, right? Most of you get analysis and you present using infographics. What design concepts should you use when you are putting some of these elements together? Are you on the same page? Are you still staring at your blank slide? Okay, let's do something. Control, okay. Are we all here? I said for most of you, the first thing you do in PowerPoint is you come and delete these guys, right? You know why you come and delete them? Because you learn that in PowerPoint, there are layouts. Every theme has a layout, right? So normally when you start with PowerPoint, what you are looking at is a title slide. It assumes that you are beginning with a title. If what you are creating is not a title, then don't use a title slide. If what you are using is a blank, just go ahead and choose blank. Please, are you with me? You can change this under home, layout. Can you see this? So when you go to layout and you see these icons, you see that every theme has the composite layout that bring it together. So when we start our PowerPoint class, we'll learn about themes and layouts and how to put it together. In fact, it takes about 30% of the work away. Are you with me? Please, let's choose a layout blank, a blank layout. So now you know that if you delete those placeholders, you are disturbing the layout. You are forcing a title slide into a blank slide. That's what you are doing. Are you with me? Okay, let's create a story. A story of, what's your name? Armenia. Okay, we'll try to spell Armenia today. Okay, so let's create a story about Armenia. So you know that in PowerPoint, let's go to insert, please. Are you at insert? Do you see icons? Do you see icons here? You all have icons. Under shape, do you see icons? Please click on icons. I want to show you something small. In fact, at the end of the season, everybody is going to create their own story. Normally, with storytelling, there are elements that make it stick. You have to find an environment, choose a timeline, and a character, if you like. It's not every time you have to use a character. But you go through a narrative flow that makes it easier for your audience to come along. And that is what you are using PowerPoint for. So sometimes you can roll it along a timeline, or we can use a character who's going through a certain process. With stories, there is always the exposure, the conflict, and then the resolution. And we are going to learn how to put it all together. But first, you have to cover the fundamentals. So can you all see these icons, please? Can you all see these icons? Okay. Do you all have cartoon people? Do you have cartoon people? Do you have cartoon people? Those who have been following our YouTube channel for a while, we did a storytelling dashboard just 2 weeks ago in Excel. And then we use these elements. Okay. I mean, who are you? Who is closer to you? Please choose any character you like. So let's say this is Avenir. Choose any lady, any gentleman, anybody you want. Have you chosen? Any character, full body. Are we here? Please insert Avenir. Okay, fantastic. Then I came to insert text box, and then I named this. This is Avenir. Are you all here? Okay. Now, you know, one thing you can do is that if you want to increase the font, you can select this and do Control-Shift-Dot. Can we all try that? So step inside the text box, highlight the whole thing. So you step inside where the cursor is. Are we there? Do a Control-A. Control-A. So if your cursor is in here, just make sure your cursor is in there and do a Control-A. Have you done a Control-A? Control-A will select all. That's what you are doing. Are we here? If you want to increase a font in PowerPoint or in any of the Office apps, it's Control-Shift-Dot. Control-Shift. So you hold Control-Shift. Any dot you add to it increases the font. Right? Comma would reduce the font. Control-Shift, comma, Control-Shift-Dot. So either way, you go down, you go up. Are we here? Now, what we are going to be using mostly in this storytelling is we want to use morphing. This is how morphing works. There's a connection between your current slide and your previous slide. The connection is that at least one element has to be present in both. So in this case, if I want Avenir to be the character in my narrative, I will hold Avenir in slide 1 and in slide 2. Whatever happened to Avenir in slide 1 and slide 2, the change is going to morph. Let's do it together. Stand in the first slide, so click inside the first slide. On the side here, are we here? And then do a Control-D. Control-D will copy your slide. Are we there? Now, in the story, let's say Avenir grew or Avenir moved, right? Let's say if Avenir is growing, select Avenir and then increase the height of Avenir. Let it be tall and bigger, if you like. Okay. Here, she grew, something like this. Are we here? Because we are telling a story, a connected flow, we want to morph the two. Are we here? Now select the second slide, right? And then do a Control-A. Control-A will highlight these two slides. Are the two slides selected? Go to transitions. Are you at transitions? And then select morph. So if you are here, if you select the second slide, do a Control-A. Control-A means you are selecting all the slides here. And then you go to transitions, and then you choose morph. Are you here? Now, when you're in presentation mode, because the story is connected, you start from slide 1, right? Let's go into presentation mode. This presentation mode, the slideshow. Do you see the slideshow here? This icon. Click on it. Do you all see your first slide? You all see your first slide. So in the flow or your story, if Armenia grew, okay, you see that that movement between slide 1 and slide 2 is now going to show, right? Can we try a situation where Armenia became small? In that case, what would you do? If I want to control D, right? So control D, create a new slide, right? And then you can even move her a bit. Okay. So she became small and moved. Okay, so here, if I'm now telling my story, this is Armenia. She grew, she became small, and then she moved, right? There's a certain connection among all the slides, if you've noticed. And that's kind of features we are going to use to engage our audience. If you look at the presentation I did earlier on the Finex kitchen, there were a few areas that I used morphing, okay, especially between this slide. So, have you seen this aroma on the top left? Have you seen the aroma on the top left? See how it turns into turning raw data into delicious insights. You get the idea? So the point I'm trying to make here is that we will find ways to explore how to use morphing to connect the characters in our story after learning how to design. Okay? Because normally, from our understanding with Jesus and his parables, if you are able to connect your slides, it doesn't even have to be a generic story. Even in sales and typical number series, you can still put a story to make it easier for your audience to follow. So what we're going to do in the PowerPoint is we'll learn how to design from scratch. We'll learn how to use animations, not just your regular ones, but master morphing. In fact, in this case, there's a trick that you use in morphing that even if the characters are not the same, you can make them speak to each other and then connect and transform in the next slide. And that's what we are going to learn. So for those who are even new to PowerPoint, we are going to start from scratch. If you're already an expert in PowerPoint, we want to learn some of these morphing features and line motions to be able to create stories that people can connect to. Are you on the same page? There are occasions where we'll go to Canva to bring in elements to enhance our story. And that is the journey. Are you on the same page? My apologies for the hitches. It's eating into our time. So what I'm going to do is that in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to quickly go through the brochure, go through logistics, and then we'll use the next 10 minutes to take your questions, and then we'll round up. Is that okay? Okay. Online, are we okay? Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so how are we going to learn? I'm sure you've all come across the brochure, and the focus this season is we want to learn Excel, Power BI, and PowerPoint, but we want to also make it possible to use these AI tools. The bit I didn't get a chance to show you was that most of the things that we are going to learn, the EDA, the storytelling, the calculations, and all those things, we are first going to leverage ChatGPT and Copilot, get what we need and bring it inside Excel, PowerPoint, and Power BI. Okay, because of time, I couldn't show you that, but we are going to learn how to leverage these tools to fast track or accelerate our work. Okay, now I've already spoken about why join us, our community, the content. This is the Excel content. So from next week, Saturday, we are going to start topic 1. Topic 1 is going to be a blank Excel workbook. So please don't feel intimidated. Everybody is going to participate in that lesson 1 because we are making no assumptions. So when you come, you are going to learn about cells, ranges, tables, and basic calculations. Okay, and how to do the structured referencing proper. That's topic 1. Then we'll go to topic 2, where we'll talk about Power Query. Right? So we'll do a case study on Power Query. Case studies that would at least involve about 18 transformations. Today we did only 1 transformation, just deleting columns. But there are more than that. Then we'll talk about Power Pivot. Power Pivot allows you to model data. We'll talk about that. Then we'll put this all together and create pivot tables. Then after our pivot tables, we'll create a dashboard. Okay, so we'll do this over 6 Saturdays, right? Today doesn't count. So next class is topic 1. Are you on the same page? Good. Then PowerPoint. So we'll talk about storytelling essentials. First, we'll define what storytelling is. What are the modes? What are the methods? Okay, how do stories normally start? And how can we relate it to our insights? Okay, we'll learn how to design. So if you are not good with PowerPoint designs, we'll show you some few tips and tricks and how to even take advantage of Canva. In fact, Canva is also free, but if you want to use some premium features, that's when you pay. So usually you can get some of the key characters and elements in Canva, download them into PowerPoint, and then make use of it. So we'll learn how to use themes and layouts in PowerPoint and then tell our stories well. Then we would learn how to do animations and transitions proper, right? So we'll learn how to do animations and transitions proper. Not just the grow and swipe and those things that turn into butterflies and fly away. No, we are going to learn just the key ones like morphing and then motions to just carry our story. The occasions will bring in fade and those ones, but we are not going to be very heavy on the animation. But the point is that a way to build our PowerPoint so that we can engage our audience proper. That's what we'll do. And then we'll do practice. So in our PowerPoint class, we'll actually call people to present their case studies for those who are online and in person. So please be ready so that you can put it into practice. Are you good? Okay. Now, Power BI, I've already gone through it. So we go through the ETL, the data modeling, the calculations, the publication, and all those things. If you are new, don't worry, we start from scratch. So in the end, we want to learn these 3. Excel to help us get data transform, use Copilot to get insights, create DAX calculations, summarize with pivot tables, create interactive dashboards. Power BI, get and transform data, model data, unlock insights with AI visuals, publish and embed reports. And then PowerPoint, I've already covered what we are going to do in there. So these are the 3 areas that we are going to cover. Now, subscription. Each module is 2,000 cedis. If you are doing all 3, take 1,000 off, pay 5,000. If you are doing 2, take 500 off, pay 3,500. So again, you will notice that in time, we've kept to this 2,000 for almost 4 seasons now. regardless of how the dollar rate and the inflation rate is going. We are stable. But we believe it's not about the money, it's an investment in your career. So please make the right choice and then make sure you get value for the time that you are spending here. If you have need for any plan, you can see me at the end of the class. Now, this is the important thing I want us to talk about, the timetable. So please, the timetable works like this. Can you all see? Can you all see? The Excel class, no, we'll start every day with Power BI. The Power BI class is going to start from 8:30 to 10:30, 2 hours. So please, it's 8:30, it's not 9 o'clock. In the past, we used to meet at 9 for our first class. But this time around, it's 8:30, so please be on time. We'll start the recording and everything exactly at 8:30. There will be online and in-person. So as we are doing today, we are going to have the in-person class streamed online so that if you are home, you can enjoy us comfortably. If you are here too, you can also go through the lessons. Are you on the same page? So 8:30 for Excel, for Power BI in the morning, online and in-person. Then we'll take a break, 30 minutes, so that those who are doing Power BI and Excel can stretch small. Then the Excel class will start from 11 to 1 o'clock. Okay, so 11 to 1 o'clock for the Excel class. Then after the 1 o'clock, we'll have a 1 hour break for those who are doing all three. If you are doing all three, we'll give you something to give you energy. And then we come back and convene at 2 o'clock. And then we'll go all the way to 4 o'clock. Okay. So we have structured it this way to accommodate all the combinations. If you are doing one, you fit in. If you are doing two, you fit in. If you are doing all three, you fit in. It's effectively 6 Saturdays of investment. By the end of 13 December, you would have been exposed to all the key tools and features that you need for work. Are you on the same page? So that is the timetable. So in the end, it's 7 meetings by 2 hours. Today doesn't count. So session 1 starts next week. Are we good? Okay. So I'll round up. The rest you know already. If you have made payments, we'll meet you and send you the codes. Now, everybody is going to be admitted to a classroom. So from next week, we are going to send you classroom codes. Our classroom works like this. When you join, so let me show you our previous classroom. So this is season 19. They just ended class. So when you come here, we will admit you, whether you're in person or online, everybody will have a virtual classroom. Now we'll send you a code for you to join the class. The classroom is important for 2 things. One, when it is time for a class and you are joining online, you log into classroom.google.com and then you join. So this will bring you straight into the meeting. So please, you're not going to be sending you codes every meeting. When I send you the code, it's one time. You join the classroom and you have access to the classroom. When you join the classroom, you have stream, you have classwork, and you have people. Okay. Now, under classwork, this is where you see all your materials. Okay. So starting with the orientation video, you post this video as a playback. Your next topic, building on all the way. Now, each topic will have resources, playback video, and a workbook that was shared. You have access to this resource for a lifetime. So even when you graduate, you can make reference to the resources we shared with you for your work. Okay. Now, occasionally people will go for engagements and weddings and those things. It's fine. You can't stop that. It's life. But when you come back from engagement, the playback video will be there. So you watch the video quickly and you catch up. Is that with me? So if something happens and you don't understand or you missed a resource, please go back to the playback video and catch up. All your teachers are here. So in the classroom, your teachers are here. What happens is that if you are watching a video and you have a question, you can post it in the stream. We'll get alerts and then come to your aid. Are you on the same page? So we'll be operating in the classroom. That was going to be our virtual resource center. Right. Now, when you join for live sessions, what we encourage you to do is that for those who are joining online, get an extra gadget. It can be your regular phone. So the same link, you can share it with yourself, join with your phone, put it at no distance so that the calls won't come in. So that for the 2 hours you are learning, you watch the video feed and then you have access to your laptop for practice. That's more effective. Normally, if you use the same laptop for viewing and practicing, it slows you down. So get an extra tablet or an old laptop or a phone, and then have full access to your laptop for practice. Does that work? Today's glitches will not happen. This is my original laptop. I lost the screen in the course of the week. So that's why I'm not able. This one doesn't take a lot of capacity, so it was heavy. So please, we'll resolve it at the next session. So if you are learning online, you shouldn't have a problem. Are we on the same page? So people, we'll round up here. Thank you so much for accommodating us. And at this point, we'll take your questions. If you have anything that needs clarity, we'll be happy to answer. In the next 10 minutes, if you have any questions, please go ahead. Thank you. Online, are you with me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Any questions? Are we clear on everything that has been discussed? Because that's the whole idea of the preview and orientation class. I take it everybody is set. Okay. If you have any questions, please feel free. Otherwise, yes. Was there a question? Okay. So if there are no questions, what we'll normally do is we'd like to acknowledge some of our old students who are here. In fact, this is season 20. Season 20 means that this is the 20th class since we started in 2016. Our sessions are normally on a quarterly basis. This is the last one for the year. Next year, God willing, we'll probably be doing more AI stuff. But realistically, this will probably be the last non-AI heavy stuff. But the way it is going, if we don't get on board the AI tools, even we as trainers will be left behind. So this is the last class for the season. But we'd like to acknowledge the likes of Eric, Hillary, Junior, or say Linda. Linda was with us last season. She's joining us for season 20. Okay. Michael, Afum, Myra, Obed, all BC. I see all of you, Peter. Right. So all our old students, if I didn't mention your name, thank you so much for joining us. The thing with the Finex community is that you don't learn and go. You learn and you stay. When you graduate, we'll add you to our Alumni WhatsApp page. The learning continues there. We share insights on our data visualization projects on Ghana and Africa. And we also share updates on the tools as well. And particularly, we also share jobs on that platform. So if you want to join the community, I'm surprised nobody asked about certificates. Or you don't like certificates? You like? Now, here's our take on certificates. Please, certificates are good, but the skill is more important. We will give you certificates indeed. We'll point you to even how to write the Power BI PL 300 certification for those who are doing the Power BI. But the trick is get the skill. Everybody will be required to do a capstone. Capstone is project work. I hope you know project work. So at the end of the session, after the last class, you have 2 weeks to do your capstone. Then you submit your capstone and then we'll issue your certificates. Then we'll admit you to our alumni group. So everybody who is in our WhatsApp group has earned the right to be there. Are you on the same page? So please, we want to have you in the WhatsApp group as well. So if there are no questions, maybe a word or two from any of our old students, you can share your experience with Finex, and then we can round up. Our old students, are you there? Anyone? You can welcome our newbies and then share your experience with them.
Okay, I'll talk, Bernard. So
Thank you, BC.
welcome for all the new students. I've been with Finex for many years now. I was introduced by Yvonne, who again has been here for years and is a pillar of Finex and what they do with the XLR girls. I'll say I'm a lifelong learner, which is why I'm still here. And because the changes are so fast and kind of need to keep up to date. So that's why I'm a returning student. And it's been a very supportive experience. And I'm sure it will be very supportive for you too.
Thank you so much, BC. So BC has been with us since season 4, 5, 6, I'm not too sure. That was way back pre-COVID. Pre-COVID. And then we went online, and then she wrote her exam, passed the Advanced Financial Modeler program, and she's been one of our pillars. All the old students here have contributed one way or the other to making Finex close up where we are. I always say this, I keep saying it, that even for those who are here in person at East Legon, our old students contributed to buy the tables and chairs. Yes. For when we're moving here in 2021, right? So it's a community. We hope you come and then you stay so that you enjoy the benefits. Right. So if there are no questions, thank you so much. We'll try and edit the video and make it available online so that if you miss some parts of it, you can get access to the things that we spoke about. So thank you so much. And we'll link up and share the course in the course of the week. Have a good weekend.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Bernard.
Nice weekend too.
Thank you, Bernard.